So again, this is body weight strength, 30 minutes express. And I don't play music in this class so that I can speak and cue and give directional technique cues. So if you want to have some music at your place that's really motivating and pumping, by all means, please play that music and rock out to it while you sweat. Okay, so it is 5:30. Let's get started. Reach those arms legs nice and high, lengthen the body. If this is the first time you're moving today and you've been sitting in a chair all day, you definitely want to ease into this workout. I'm going to start with my arm raise. I'm going to pull down towards each knee. Nice and slow. Well, at your own pace. If you do it too slow, then you got to work on your balance like this. Oh, that's too slow. So a lot of times when we sit at our desk, our arms are just here almost all day. We like barely reach it over our head. So one of the first things I really like to do is to always get my arms up. Also, it starts to elevate the heart rate when you do raise your arms over your head. Warm up with the hip flexors, but also getting into the abs here. Any exercise that I do today, you can modify however you like. So if I'm doing a squat, and you prefer doing lunges, you can do lunges. If I'm doing a lunge and you prefer squats, you can do that. All right, before we do a million of those, loosen up that lower back, get some rotation into your torso. Remember to lift up the heel so that you don't twist your knee. And then we're going to go into our squats. So most of us squats every day because we sit down and we stand up again. And just because I'm not popping my butt into a chair doesn't mean I'm not doing a squat. So if I sit down in a chair, yeah, I've done somewhat of a squat. And when I stand up, I'm getting out of the squat. So you can go to any depth you like. I'm going to show you the side view. Butt goes back and down, knees coming to about 90 degrees. If you'd like to go with your butt below your knees, go for it. I don't go that low. I have my weight in my heels, and my knees and toes are tracking in line with each other, slightly turned out. I reach my arm forward for balance. My abs are tight. My chest is up. Oh, what else was there to say about the squat? Nothing, so let's do lunges. With your feet hip distance apart, take one leg back, nice long stride. I'm going to show you the profile here. This is too short of a stride. It really doesn't give me any range of motion. So a nice long stride allows you to bend that back knee down toward ankle heights and get both those knees to about 90 degrees. Some people call this the split squat. The front leg is still doing like a squatting motion, right? It's bending and straining. And this back leg is kind of almost like a kickstand. About 8 more. Chest is up. It's a vertical drop. What I mean by that is we're not shifting forward to do the lunge or leaning forward. Go straight down. 3 more. And then other leg goes in front. So again, hip distance apart. You don't want to be on a tightrope where both feet are on the same line. You want to have that distance. It helps with your balance. If I ever do any plyometric or jumping exercises and you want to keep it low impact, you can do that as well, especially if you have neighbors downstairs and you like them. 8 more. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, coming into our plank, this warms up our core. Core muscles are anything that attaches to your spine and your pelvis. It's not just your abs. So if you're not already starting to sweat a little bit or warm up, hopefully this will, because we're squeezing every muscle we got in our body. All right, hold this for about 30 seconds. During this 30 seconds, you want your elbows underneath your shoulders. Gently press into those forearms. Engage the abs. Squeeze your butts. Squeeze those quadriceps and try to get your legs as straight as can be. Reach those heels to the back of the room. We have about 20 more seconds. All right, now that's true, 10 more seconds. But who's really counting? Still breathing, inhale, exhale, last breath, in and out. Options for push-ups, hands wider than shoulder distance. We've got our knee push-ups. Knees are underneath the hips. I aim my chest for a line that's drawn between my two thumbs. You want a little more challenge? Walk those hands out. Shift your hips forward. So once again, your hands hit that line between your thumbs. You can also do it on your toes. So if you want to do about 4 or 5 more push-ups, this is the motion. This, in case it was hard to see. All right, when we do push-ups today, anytime we do push-ups, if you, for some reason, don't want to do them, you can do any variation, but if for some reason you have like dumbbells in your house, just because I call it body weight strength doesn't mean that you can't grab dumbbells and do what you like, okay? So anyways, I understand if you have any risk sensitivities. All right, let's get with the workout. So we're gonna do 16 reps times 2 of everything. And for those of you that haven't taken my classes, you know how well I count. It's all about how it feels in the work and not so much about the repetitions. Let's start with squats. All right, so we're doing our squats. Here is the basic squat, and you can always revert to this, but we're going to add a pivot. Sorry, let me get my feet a little wider. Let me get off this mat. So pivot here and here. I have to lift up my heel in order to do the turning. Oh gosh, who's counting? I've turned that 3 times. Squats, lunge, squats, and lunge. Our knees are bending every single time, so I'm not only counting squats, I'm also counting lunges. So one more cycle through. All right, if you prefer doing non-stop squats or non-stop lunges, please do so. Push-ups, upper body, lower body, upper body. So while our lower body is resting, we're gonna do upper body exercise. If I do a push-up on my knees, I am able to get off my knees into my toes. Onto my toes, down dog, stretch those calves. Or if you're doing push-ups, on your toes, stay on your toes. I don't want you to just stick your butt up in the air. I want you to draw your abs up and in to initiate that down dog. Okay? So think about pulling your belly button up and in towards your spine, and that starts to elevate those hips. We're doing 16 of this, which can sound like a lot, but you can do any version of push-ups that you want. So you can do the first 8 on your toes, and you can do the latter 8 on your knees. I think we have about 4 more. All right, but if you are feeling that challenge and you're ready for your break, listen to your body, take that break. It's all about finding what challenges you, pushing yourself to a fatigue, okay? All right, last one. Oh, there you go. Round 2 of this, I'm gonna add the jumps. If I jump in the air, I reorient my pelvis. Knees and toes align with each other to the corner, knees and toes facing the side wall. All right, if you're not jumping, you have to lift off your heels. See how I lift my heel? I can't just go into my lunge and keep my heel down, right? And twist your knees. All right, so either version, all right? I'm gonna count for the jumping. 1, 1 more cycle through. Lunge, squats, lunge, and squats. How do we do? Get that heart rate up a little bit. Notice when I jumped. I wasn't jumping super high. I was jumping just enough so that I can move my feet and get it into the right position. All right, if you would like to do a single leg down dog, you can do that, or you can keep both feet on the ground. Single leg down dog looks like this. Let me show you on my knees first. Come off, kick, and lift. These are just variations of push-ups. We can do traditional push-ups all the time. But what's the fun in that? Doing the same kind of push-ups over and over and over again. We can do squats all the time. It's all about finding variations of squats. We're about halfway done. 8 more. And down dog with both feet on the ground is always an option. When you do a single leg down dog, it's not about how high you lift your leg either. Okay, you can lift it this high. 4 more. Last 2. Last 1. Oh. Okay, way to go. We're going to our curtsy lunge. Curtsy lunge is crossing back. If that doesn't feel comfortable for your hips, you can go straight behind. Now notice when I do a curtsy lunge, it's just a little more extra and rotated. But my knees and toes are still in line with each other. And that's the critical part, is that our knees and toes, they're like best friends. They always face the same direction. Do best friends always face the same direction? What I mean by that is they hopefully always agree with each other. All right. Lunge, pulse it, pulse, and then we're going to do a kick to the corner. All right, 3 pulses. 3, 2, 1, kick. I don't know why I get in the habit of holding my hands up like I'm going to be a kickboxer when I do a kick, but I'm not doing a kickboxing kick. A kickboxing kick, I lift my knees first and then kick it out. I'm actually just doing a sort of a high kick, like a can-can kick. Work the hip flexors, stretch the hamstrings. 3, 2, 1. Overload the legs. 3, 2, 1. And if you're doing a traditional lunge straight back, you would kick front. Give me 2 more sets of triple pulses. It's not about how high you kick. It's about feeling that range of motion in your hips. Other side. Pulse, overload. Anytime you pulse, in the phase of the workout, so the lowest point of the lunge is the hardest part, we wouldn't pulse up here. You don't feel anything. When you pulse, in the most challenging part of the movements, you're creating what's called time under tension. So there's the tension, and you're staying in that tension. And that's what creates the challenge. More muscular burn. If you don't have extra weights, right, let's say normally, maybe you need a lot of weights to hold or external weight in order to feel it in your leg muscles. But when you don't have that at home, last time, all you can do is increase time under tension, which will challenge those legs more. All right, we're gonna do abs here. So we switch between lower body and upper body I consider abs. Option to keep the bottom knee bent. We're gonna do a drop and a lift with the hips. And that's all it is. Okay, don't underestimate how much work is done on the obliques. You can have the bottom leg straight. This, you can also stack it. You can also be on your your wrist, and I'll do that in the next round, but for now, here, dip, push as high as you can. You don't need to stop at neutral. Go as high as you can. Become a banana this way and a banana that way. Strong through the shoulder. Give me 8 more. 8, 7, push. 6, still contraction here. 5, every time. 4, 3, 2, 1. We do a lot of push-ups sometimes in like boot camp classes and strength classes, but we don't stop to think about the plank. All these muscles that help us stabilize in the plank, we have to work on them so that we can do a proper push-up. Because push-up is a moving plank. 16 here. Give me 8 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, how are we doing? Back on our feet. Nice, thanks for the thumbs up, guys. I'm not gonna start with, I often favor one leg, but I'm gonna actually start with my other leg. Because I'm kind of starting fresh. And if you always start fresh with the same leg, that side actually gets a little stronger. So if you have a favorite leg, don't always favor by starting it, okay? I'm gonna start on this side, do my 3 pulses, 3, 2, 1, and kick, 3, 2, 1, and kick. If 3 pulses is not enough to challenge you, you can do more. Let's say you want to do 6 pulses. The reason why I'm not really hung up on counting 16 reps perfectly, and I often accidentally do extra, is because everyone kind of counts differently. And I don't mean in numerical order, but I mean count at different paces. Some people are moving faster than others, some people are slower than others. So we're never all going to be doing the exact same number. Anyways, the important thing is, do you feel your leg muscles? Okay, last set. Because that's what's most important. If you've done 16 reps and you don't feel anything, well then we got to find more challenge for you. And if you feel, switch sides, if you feel that burn by like the 8th rep, that's fine. Rest up, join in when you need to, when you can, okay? Every time you weight train, your muscles get stronger after recovery. And then maybe today, you fatigue at 8 reps, and next week, you fatigue at 10 reps. All right, hopefully you're not kicking anybody or any furniture here. 2 more sets. 1 more set. So I'm going to do the side plank on my wrist. Now, when we're doing a side plank on a wrist, all your weight is on that one wrist. So I understand that it can be a lot for the one wrist. I had to definitely build up to it over time. So feel free to do it on your elbows, okay? And also, one way to practice is if you have your knee down, the knee usually takes away some of the weight from the wrist. So if you're learning to transition from the elbow to the wrist, you could be elbow straight leg to wrist, knees down. Okay, there's a lot of options. So I'm gonna be here. And same thing. One little bonus about being on your wrist is there is a little more range of motion in the body. I can dip a little more and push up a little bit more just because of that extra length in my arm. But you can still feel a lot of obliques on the elbows. 8 more. Maybe 4 more. We're only lowering so we can push up again. Last one. So view this lowering phase almost like kind of a little stretch. But you can't keep lifting, right? You're gonna hit your peak contraction. So you gotta change the range so that you can go up again. I happen to be stacking, but you can stagger. It helps with balance a little bit. Each lift is an emphasis and a contraction of those bottom obliques. It's not about the top obliques. Stay strong for the shoulders. Shoulders are stabilizing. 8 more. I almost lost my balance again. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Going back to lower body. Woo. Okay. Narrow squats. Narrow squat knees are going to be mostly, and toes are mostly facing forward. The wider we go, the more they turn out, okay? We're going to try to be kind of, think about like a chair pose in a sense. Chest up. Have you ever had those mini bands around your legs? Yeah, this is how you would walk if you had a mini band around your legs. Now, we unfortunately don't have it, so you're not going to feel anything in the outer thighs, right? Because that's what the mini band does. It pulls your legs in, so you have to push out. However, that doesn't mean you aren't getting major glute work when you stay down in a low squat and walk. So there are still benefits to doing this exercise without the mini band. I haven't really counted anything, but this is not so much a repetition one. This is timing under tension. Let's do one more pass through in each direction. Next time I'll actually count how many steps I do, but aiming for about 4 steps in each. Yeah, and your body talks to you. If you're starting to really feel fatigued, suddenly you're like, wait, I'm not even in a squat anymore. All right, so your body will listen, will tell you what it needs. It's telling you to take a break, you take a break. Sometimes it is mind over matter. All right. Upper body again. We're going to walk down into our inchworm. This is a nice stretch as you come down here. Walk it out. Hands are underneath your shoulders for a tricep push up. If you want to do wide hand for chest, go for it. Knees, yeah, okay. And then you're going to walk it back. So this looks like a down dog, right? And then we keep walking it back. You're going to need all your arm strength. Do you want to stand up each time? Actually, let's not, because that takes too much time. So here, hamstring stretch. Come right up to your toes. Feel that stretch. Walk it out. Tricep push up. Walk it back. Touch your toes. Feel the stretch. Walk it out. Push up. Your arms are working. Your triceps are working all right here while you're walking. Yes, the most amount of work is when you do that push-up. Go to your knees, is fine. But see how straight you can keep your legs. So right here, how straight can you keep your legs as you walk your hands back? All right. Not saying that you need to judge yourself if your knees are bent. My point is saying try to keep your legs straight. Try to emphasize a hamstring stretch versus automatically bending your knees and not thinking about it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it is wrong to bend your knees. It's like, what are we thinking about focusing here? We're focusing on the tricep, and now we're going to focus on working those arm muscles as we walk back, as well as the hamstring stretch. Give me one more here. Okay. We're going to do our little squat walk, and at the end of my mats, I'm going to do a jump. If you don't want to do the jump, you go like this, up, down, and that's it, okay? So I'm going to walk all the way to the end of my mat. Up, down. That partial straightening of the legs, yes, I'm jumping up. It does give me a temporary break on my muscles, but it also gives me a little plyometric heart rate movement. You don't have to jump, remember? Soft landing. Now that I'm giving you a break on the side though, get nice and low. One more pass through on each side. Okay, when we do this inchworm this time, I'm actually going to have your feet moving. So if we could get down into our tricep push-up position first. Okay. So let's say I just do my push-up. Well, let's just do it. Here's our push-up. I want to have you walk your feet in. And then walk or step back. So you can step back like this, do another push-up, or jump back into that plank, which if you've ever done a burpee, we put our hands on the ground and we jump our feet back. So that's kind of like a burpee. Walk, 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 get your butt in the air. Feel your hamstring stretch, back and push up. Walk, walk, walk. My arms are still stabilizing a lot. My shoulders are doing a lot of work right here. All right? Your muscles are engaged. And you want your abs engaged before you jump your feet back. If you're doing the jump back, brace your abs so you land in a strong plank position. You don't want to land and then be like, oh, I forgot to brace my abs, and your hips just kind of fell to the ground. That's not good for your back at all. Jump back, push up, go to your knees, take your options, lots of options. You can step back like this, right? Come to your knees, push-ups. Let's do two more. You can do it. Your arm is getting fatigued this whole time, even though you're not doing push-ups nonstop. But I also know that if you do 16 push-ups nonstop, it's really, really hard for these arms. So you sort of get a little break from intense arm movements. Okay, how do we do? Oh, we have 6 minutes left. What should we do? What should we do? Let's do some abs. All right. Ab work, scissors, double pulses. It's okay if your knees are bent. Pulse 1, pulse 2. Switch. Pulse 1, pulse 2. Options, head down, assist with the arms. Option 2, head up, no arm assist, or arm assist. Option 3, head up, no arm assist. Now, when I say arm assisting, I mean that when you're holding onto your leg, it assists your abs. Okay, if you don't believe me, just try it. Just do a couple of these. Hold on to the leg. Yeah, like, have we started? Are we doing it? Pulse, pulse. It's okay if your legs are bent, but we're trying to keep it straight because that gets our hamstrings stretching. But if you don't feel like the challenge is there, get rid of touching your legs. Get rid of that assistance with your arms and just reach with the fingertips, head, neck, and shoulders up. And I guarantee you, you will feel that work in your abs. For 8 and 7, pulse. 6, pulse. 5, pulse. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we have just enough time to stretch. So let's do a quick quad stretch for all the squats and lunges we did. I try not to stop and take official breaks. Doesn't mean you can't take breaks, take water breaks. But a lot of times when I'm explaining an exercise, it's kind of a break anyways, right, while we're learning it. So hopefully everything feels challenging but doable, manageable. Squeeze a lot of work into a short amount of time. If you ever have any questions mid-workout, you can always write in the chat. I'll just run over there and read it, go from there. I love teaching over Zoom, but one of the challenges is that I can't see every single person. Whether or not you show your video, everyone is like this small, right? Because of the way the thumbnails are. So try to give as much cues and coaching about what muscles are being felt and where as much as possible. So hopefully you can hear those tips and assess yourself and be honest with yourself. Do I feel in the butt? Should I go lower? I think I can go lower. Even if Finn can't see me, I'm gonna challenge myself and go lower. Good. Whip those arms open and close. So we've done actually quite a lot of hamstring stretches already throughout with all these kicks and things. If you need to do more for the hamstring, feel free to reach for your toes. I'm just gonna do a quick tricep stretch. Same arm I have, right arm. I also have the right leg behind for an IT band stretch. And if you're in the mood to do some cardio, a 45-minute cardio session next at 6:15, separate Zoom. But if you have any extra energy, dance it out. I also always recommend doing strength before cardio because you want to be doing strength when your muscles are fresh, since it's so technique oriented.